Hey everybody, welcome to the Deep Thought. My name is Hasib, and let's get into our topic for the day. So today, guys, honestly, I want to talk about money, and I want to talk about specifically how everyone is asking about, how do we have the money for this thing that we just passed in Congress and the Senate called the stimulus package. If we're so far deep into the rabbit hole of the debt that we have as a nation, how do we have more money to just give away? And a lot of people really misunderstand the concept of money when when they think about it, because they think that it's uh, as if it's something that is not replicable. Money is something that we can make in mass. It's a piece of paper, and basically, an economy works, or your currency works, based on the amount there is, and if there's a certain amount, like a good capacity of money in a system where it's constantly flowing, and you have a healthy flow of money, that's a sign of a good economy for your money. Now, if you take money in the direction of it actually holding value, which it doesn't have any type of value. But if you flood your economy with your currency, or any economy for that matter, the more you produce, the less value that comes from your currency. So in this example right now, if the feds decided to flood the not only the American economy, but the worldly economy, with trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, uh, the value of the dollar would go down, because it would be in excess. Everybody would have an abundance of it. So basic economics would go, if you have an abundance of a certain resource that's easily accessible, the amount, or the value, the worth of that thing goes down. And the opposite is true for the opposite. So if there is something that is very rare, something that isn't a source that comes in abundance, then it becomes increased in value. This is basic. This is basic economics 101 here. But you see, what we do is we make money and we give it value. Money doesn't have any real value to it, other than the value that we ourselves, as human beings, independent human beings, give it. Now, that's money. Of course, there are material things in this world, such as, and I'm talking real material things that can be used in a productive manner, such as certain metals, diamonds, and other things among those. Now, those things actually have value, because you need metals to create the technology that we have. You need metals to create conductors. You need metals to create essentially energy flow through wiring systems, etc., etc. Now, money is a different thing. Money actually absolutely has no value behind it. Even the money that we try to put into circulation, that's made out of certain types of metals, the metal itself, yes, actually holds a tiny amount of value. But the money holds a type of value that we give it ourselves. So here in this sense, let's take nickel. For example, here in the United States, we have the nickel. It's 5 cents. And from what I understand, a lot of countries have gone away from utilizing that system, like the penny system, the penny, nickel, dime, quarter, half dollar, and they've just gone directly to what would be our equivalent of dollars, $5 bills, $10 bills, 20s, 50s, hundreds, and so on and so forth. But money here actually holds no value whatsoever. So people are in awe and wondering, how do we have the money to create, how do we have the resources to flood our own economy with more money, causing us to go into a greater debt? That's the thing. Money literally has no value. That's the thing to take away here. Money is a representation of what we would call wealth. So the things that you can accumulate with the amount of money that you have. That is what money does. It shows the wealth of an individual. It shows the wealth of a community. It shows the wealth of a country. That doesn't necessarily go to say that, the more money your country has, the more wealth that you will produce. And quite the contrary to that, it may very well be the opposite. The more money your country produces, the less wealthy it very well might be. There's actually countries, I believe it's a certain country in Africa, or somewhere in that region, that has a market flooded with their own currency, and I believe it takes millions of essentially what we would call millions of dollars in their currency to be the equivalent of a single dollar. Or it might be millions or hundreds of thousands or millions, somewhere in that region. But nonetheless, they had to keep their own currency flowing through their economy because their economy was being destroyed. And it's because through this abundance of money that essentially the value of their country, the value of their community went down to nothing. And that only happened because people thought that it was worth absolutely nothing. But this is the issue. This is a very big issue with money, with the concept of money. Money is not a thing that is here for us to use as really any type of resource. It's something that we've learned to create a concept out of. With the concept of money has become something in our societies today for us to use as bargaining chips, and that's all money is. But in my personal opinion, it's a very poor design. Now, don't get me wrong. Money has done what it's needed to do for our species for the time that it was good for. But at this point, especially for the people that are questioning how does the U.S. have the money to spend and give during a crisis, especially like this one, it's because money doesn't actually equate to anything. Money isn't value. Money doesn't equate value. It doesn't hold any value unless you give it that value. Now I want to go even deeper into this because this is where things get interesting. Why do you put value in money? Most of the time, people, we're born. We're born into this society, and we're not really taught to question it. We're not taught to question how the economics work. We're not taught to really question the idea, the concept of money, and whether or not there's different things, whether or not there are better things, better ways for us to trade for resources. Now, here in America, from what I understand, we need to essentially tell people, hey, this is our money, this is what it's worth. We believe that it's worth this much for your for the resources that you have to trade with us, and so on and so forth. And then the other party would come back and say, well, here's what I think our resources are worth in comparison to your currency. And, that's the beginning of trade. People trade money for resources. And I get it. I know many people who have thought about this and come to the same conclusion of, what better alternative is there? And that's kind of what I'm trying to bring out right now from not just you, but everybody else that watches my video. I want people to start thinking about this. I want people to really dive into the concept of money, what it really means, and how we can probably change how we operate our societies, not just through this conceptual monetary system of economics that we've created. Now, sure, this has worked for as long as it has, and of course, people are going to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a very popular saying here in America. But nonetheless, things have to come to an end, and I truly believe that it is time for us as a species, as a race, to really dive into something else, find something else, and come up with a better way, a better solution of trading resources and essentially trading our time that we give to make the money that we use to trade for goods. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Remember, if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope you guys will have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care, everybody.